started. Apparently crying. Oh, please get through now. Anyway, I'm kind of having to be quiet and subtle because it is about 1:50. Anyway, point is, we're in a jail. It's about 1:50 in the morning. I just got home from work a little bit ago from my 1 a.m. shift. It is now Saturday night going into Sunday, the 18th of November, and it is officially the beginning of Fall Into Fantasy Readathon. So I have taken a break from my regular reading to start my Readathon TBR. So, basically, I did have a little bit of craziness the last couple days there, trying to fill in books to read. Anyway, trying to figure out what books to read that I could try and get through in the interim couple of days before today. I finished the Duff on late Thursday night, just before I went to sleep. See my screen reflecting in my glasses, lovely. I finished the Duff late Thursday night, just before I went to sleep, and I was going to read Royally Jacked, which is part of this little mini, like, teen rom-com series I have going here. And I've gotten a few of them from Nikki, and a couple of freebies from like Goodwill, and freebies from like Second and Charles in the case of Royal Jacked and one of its sequels. And I don't think I got any of them from Goodwill. But anyway, so I started reading Royally Jacked on Friday, but I was kind of about it, kind of considering skipping it or waiting till later, because I didn't really care too much for the plot, honestly, because I got the first and third books in that little mini-series in the free bin at Second and Charles. I just grabbed them because I like a few of the other series, the books in that kind of publishing series, so to speak, anthology, or whatever it's called. I think it's an anthology when it's just multiple multiple authors in the same book. I don't know. I'll have to do more research on it, but anyway. So yeah, I enjoyed some of the other ones, like A Novel Idea and Love Under Cover. I really liked those when I was a little bit younger and I first got into reading a few of them. So I grabbed them when they were in the free bin, but looking back, I was kind of like, about the plot of it now, because it's like, her parents get divorced because her mother has a new girlfriend, so she's like weird about it. She's like super embarrassed that she doesn't want to tell her friends, even her best friends, that her mom is leaving her dad because she has a girlfriend and everything. And then apparently her mom moves to like the next town over or something, and her dad works for the White House, so he gets sent to some random off-the-wall European country called Schwarenzburg or something. They keep like referring it to Smorgasbord as a joke, but obviously it's a made-up tiny country around Germany area, etc. And she ends up like dating a prince or something there, and that's basically the plot. I was kind of like, I don't really like the feel of it already. I'm kind of like, about this particular storyline, and so I tried to get there. I'm like, I'm gonna need to read it eventually, and it is the next one on my regular TBR list, so I might as well knock it out because it's super short and super small, and it would be perfect to get me through the next couple days till Fall Into Fantasy starts. So I started reading through it, got through about the first, I think 60 pages-ish. And I was still, like, the whole time I was reading it, half of my brain was just like, I really don't care about reading this. I really would rather move on to something else. But I'm gonna try and stick it through. I don't know, maybe I'll finish it just for the sake of getting it out of the way and then deciding if I want to just keep the book or not. But I really didn't care for it. The further I got into it, the less I liked it. The whole attitude towards the whole situation with the mother and just the language of it, I just didn't care for. And honestly, the last straw was when she referred to getting her classmate's email address as getting his e-addy. And once I read that word, I had to close the book. I was just like, nope, it's not happening anymore. I'm done. That's the final straw. Because I'm sorry, that's nothing. That's a word that should never exist, should never have been put into use. I'm sorry, I can't. No. So I immediately closed the book, took my bookmark out, and put it into the next book I had as a backup, because I was already that on the fence about reading it to begin with. I brought the next one in the series, the How Not to Spend Your Senior Year with Me, as well to work, because I was that sure I wasn't going to really get around to finishing it. But anyway, I stuck it through enough where I made it through pretty much my whole shift before I got to that part, and then it was just like, nah. So I just went back to like coloring or something for like the last half hour or so. And yeah, I promptly scribbled out my phone number out of the library pocket, and when I got home I did the same for the sequel, and I have them set aside to be donated / traded in, because I'm not gonna finish them. I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry. It's not happening. So then I decided, so Friday, yesterday, I went to go do groceries, etc. And instead of just going on to how not to spend your senior year, I ended up bringing my library books to Stone Rose and the Duff back to the library so that it would have everything processed before the 21st, since I'm going to be on vacation / going to Atlanta the next couple of days. So I traded those in, and I decided to go ahead and grab another book while I was there, because why not just continue it in a chain so that A, I am making regular use of my library, and B, by this way I can make sure I'm always keeping note of when the due date is by just moving the due date in my calendar. Each time I turn in new books, I just get the next one, move the due date while I'm right there in the library checking it out, keeping the receipt front in my wallet and everything, and that way it's just right there. And yeah, so I ended up getting another book from the library. I stuck with just one, and I got the shortest one that I could find that just kind of stuck out to me in my quick-ish search in the library, and ended up coming home with I Don't Know What You Know Me From by Judy Greer. And Judy Greer is awesome. I have seen her in a whole bunch of things, which is kind of like the purpose of the book, because she's been a co-star in a ton of things. She has so many credits. I've seen her in 13 Going on 30, 27 Dresses. I saw her in a few others, but those are the main two that kind of stand out initially. When I see her face, I think of those two primarily. And she's just great. So I have kind of been on a memoir / biography / humor-ish kick lately, so I decided to grab that one because it's a little over 200 pages, and I started reading it technically today, since I just got through with giving up on Royally Jacked yesterday, and it's been a pretty fast read. I've actually really enjoyed it. I'm already on page 90, which is one section into part 2, which is the Hollywood life section. So I'm about halfway through the book overall, and it's a pretty good stopping point for me to take a break, but not like lose progress in like a traditional book while I'm doing the readathon. So I've set that aside. It's going to be on pause for the remainder of the week here for the readathon. Then I'm going to pick it up so that I have enough time to finish it before I turn it in by the 30th. And so tonight I'm going to officially kick off the readathon with Artemis Fowl finally by Eowyn Colfer. I still always feel awkward trying to figure out how to pronounce the name. Anyway, as I said before, it was one of Beth's favorite books when we were growing up, about age 8 to 10ish, like Aeon's age. This and the Septimus Heap series, as well as a series of unfortunate events that we were both into. And I meant to borrow these from her for ages. I remember getting through at least the first book of Septimus Heap, but I never got around to getting much further with the books and borrowing them from her. So when I saw this in Goodwill, I ended up grabbing it because I'm like, it's always bugging me. Anytime I see this or the other book at Goodwill or anywhere else, I'm like, I still have to fulfill my promise to Beth to read this. And just generally my inner child from way back when is just like still curious, so I'm going to finally read it, see how I like it. If I like it, I may get more of the books and read them. If not, I may just end up passing along to Aeon since it's about her age, and also because I actually am planning to kidnap Aeon for a sleepover this week as well. Since I am going to be in Atlanta on Monday and I don't have work until Friday, I'm going to be picking Aeon up from Cindy's since she's watching the kids while Nikki and I go to the V&B concert. I'm going to be picking up Aeon Tuesday morning-ish on my way home, bring her down here, go and hang out places around town, probably take her to Gottwalls to trade in my books, maybe let her get another one in its place, things like that. Have her stay the night here, and then bring her back sometime Wednesday. So it's gonna be a lovely time. I haven't had an Aeon sleepover in about 3 years, and it's long overdue. So I'm pretty excited about this week. And before I take too much longer, because I've already been talking forever, I'm going to go get into Artemis Fowl and see how that goes, and then continue the readathon from there. So yeah, this is the official kickoff for Fall Into Fantasy, and I will try and keep things updated as I can with the craziness of this week, even though it's meant to be my little vacation, but I'm loving it all the same. So yeah, that's about everything for now. Say goodnight, Ace. Kitty. And of course, Deluna. Anyway, it's late. I need to start reading and then go to bed.